California Cedar Products Company was founded in 1919 and quickly became a world leader in pencils. For 50 years, they made every conceivable kind of pencil. The classic number 2, little tiny golf pencils, giant novelty pencils for clowns. And then in the late 60s, they hired a local truck driver. And his job was to come in after the factory closed and sweep up the sawdust into his truck, drive it to the local dump. He did this for a few months, and then he gets a really good idea. So our truck driver loads up his truck with sawdust one day, drives 1.5 miles from the factory, pulls over to the side of the road, and starts rolling this sawdust up in newspaper. And he starts selling these things as fireplace logs off the back of his truck. Well, he does really well. He sells thousands of these things that he'd made off of his truck. So much, in fact, that he ran out of sawdust. So our truck driver, he goes back to the son of the founder of Cal Cedar, and he starts telling him what he's been doing. And in January of 1970, Cal Cedar and our truck driver joined forces and found Duraflame, taking the sawdust from the factory floor and turning it into a billion-dollar business. Hi, I'm Scott. So I'm the CEO and founder of Bounce.io, and I've been doing email for a very long time. I built big email systems for large global financials and media companies, and I love this story about Duraflame because at Bounce, we're kind of doing the same thing. You see, email is designed to bounce. There are literally 1,000 reasons why email can bounce. Bad mailboxes, bad domains, mailbox full, really obscure things like cryptography problems and network mismatches. And for 32 years, bounces have looked just like this. Plain text, cryptic, confusing, full of technical mumbo-jumbo that nobody really understands. In fact, this one was sent from a cable company, and you can see this message was aborted after 1 second. Imminently unhelpful. What's a user supposed to do with that? Bounced email is digital sawdust. Now here's what we know. 15% of all email bounces every single day. That's 31 billion bounces per day. Now that's a really big number, so let's put that into context. 31 billion. That's 100 times more bounces per day than tweets. That's 10 times more bounced email per day than Facebook posts. Huge volume. And yet, what we find is that 60% of users actually open up and read those bounce messages. 60%. That makes it the most read form of email in the world. 60%, that's more than my mom reads the email that I send to her. It's crazy. So at Bounce.io, we make better bounces. We work with MSOs, and some of you in the audience here, ISPs, large consumer email systems, to take the bounces that their own users generate every single day and transform them into something that's clear, simple, here's what happened and what you need to do next. Plus, we have this little space here for some tasteful sponsorship, which turns bounced email into new recurring revenue, right? A media channel. So let's see it in action. My friend Andrew here is going to send a couple of bounces, and let's take a look. We're going to start by sending to a non-existent user just on Yahoo, and let's see what happens. Let's take a look at one of these old bounces. So he sends this message out. We're going to get a message back, and you can see these are the type of bounces that people get every day. Full of cryptic, confusing technical jargon. Only a handful of people really understand it. Well, now let's do it again. We're going to send to that same non-existent user, but this time we're going to leverage a platform from our partner Synacor. And when this message goes out, it'll attempt to be delivered. When it can't be delivered, it gets routed through Bounce.io. We then send it back to the Synacor user, and ta-da, we get a beautiful, simple bounce. Here's what happened. Here's what you can do to fix it. I love this world of bounces because we have lots of opportunity. Not only can you have this pretty bounce, but we can take that bounce design and make it look like your brand. So now the users have your brand experience in their bounced email. Plus, we can actually identify the language that a user is sending in. So now Andrew's going to send a bounce in Spanish, and this time when the bounce comes back, we get a bounce message with a new format in Spanish. First time ever. So you guys can try it yourself. If you want to pull out your phone, you can send an email to anyone you want at bounce-me.net. You can see an actual live bounce on your phone today. There it is. By bringing bounced email into the modern era, we're dramatically improving the user experience of bounced email. Happy users are sticky users. Happy users don't pick up the phone and call technical support when they have an email problem. And you may know this, but the number 2 reason for people to call the support line is because of email problems right after login. So if we can fix that, that's awesome. Now, when we talk about newfound money, new recurring revenue, we really mean it. We're generating today up to $2 per user per year in newfound money for our MSO partners. So if you've got 10 million active email users, we could be sending you checks for $20 million a year. Who doesn't like free money? So that's Bounce.io. We make bounces better, which in turn makes users happier and pays you up to $2 per user per year in newfound money. We started up about 18 months ago. Today, we touch bounces for 27 million domains. We've got 551 million mailboxes under contract, and we handle over 8 billion bounces a month. Thank you very much. We'd love to see you come to the Innovation Pavilion and talk to us about bounces, how we can help turn your digital sawdust, your digital trash, into happier users and newfound money. Thanks to George and the Cable Labs team, and thank you for your time.